what is actually practitioner scholarship in management field, because this journal is dedicated to promoting and advancing forms of practitioner scholarship as it applies to management.
Okay, well for me, I think a practitioner scholar is someone that applies academic rigour to practical problems, so perhaps takes a more evidence-based approach to practice. And so these are the kind of people I think that come out of executive doctorates, so they'll have started with a very practical issue, and then through that programme will have learnt to adopt rigorous evidence-based academic approaches and apply those via research to their practical problem to come up with a solution or some research results that they can then exploit and take back into practice. But it's more for me than just that one research project. It's also about the tools and techniques that they learn, and then throughout their practical career carrying on with those tools and techniques and that rigorous approach in the way that they make decisions throughout their career.
And I'd say from a practitioner point of view, I was in business for 25 years before I went back to to school to get my doctorate. And what you find in business is there's a lot of research, quote unquote, that isn't really rigorous, and it helps from a practitioner standpoint. Going through a program like a doctoral program actually puts the rigor in there such that you combine both the experience of being a practitioner and also the rigor of being an academic, and that's really what a practitioner scholar is.
In my view, getting a degree is something important. It's a great achievement for a manager, trained to use these kind of methods and theories. But the point is, a practitioner-scholar is also someone who applies research in his daily work on a regular basis, and also someone who disseminate his research and share it with a broader community, not only for his own work but also for the community, and therefore publishing in EMR seems to be a good way to disseminate research and results.
It's sort of an emerging phenomenon of increasing interest, in the sense that 30 years ago there were not a lot of practitioner scholars inside the business domain. But today we see more and more institutions engaged in executive doctorate programs to educate practitioner scholars. So I would estimate at this point there are about 35, 40, maybe even 50 institutions around the world that are engaged in such programs, and there are more and more every year. So it's something that becomes more and more common, and that's of course a reflection of a couple of things. It's a reflection of the fact that in business problems become more and more complicated, and it's a reflection that in academia maybe we have become too theoretical, and therefore the practitioner doctorate is really an attempt to resolve some of the challenges today that we have both in practice and in academia by building this new type of competence.